for today was to take special note of honoring the role of American University. In the birth of the Peace Corps, and I'm going to tell you more about that in just a minute, but in the birth of the Peace Corps, one of the things that happened was the idea had gotten floated around during the campaign. Everyone was very excited about it, and there were two students at the University of Michigan who had heard Kennedy's remarks at 2 a.m. on October 14th. She challenged students to consider giving part of their future to international volunteer service. Their names were Alan and Judy Guskin, and they started an effort that resulted in the Kennedy administration going ahead and making the announcement that they would start the Peace Corps under executive order. And one of the devices that they used was that they organized a student conference at American University to discuss the Peace Corps. And that occurred during the transition period after the election and before Kennedy took office. And the fact that the momentum was building, around student campuses around the country to come to Washington to attend this conference to discuss the Peace Corps idea is the vehicle that prompted the administration to raise this initiative as a priority and to launch it within the first 100 days of the Kennedy administration. And that event was held at American University. So without that, people have said that it's possible this idea may have languished, or it may have been a lower priority, and it may have been overcome by subsequent events. There had been other efforts to launch something like the Peace Corps in earlier Congresses, and they had never gotten it this far. So American University has a unique and historic role in creating the Peace Corps and in pioneering the whole field of international volunteer service. Alan and Judy, they heard that presentation, and they decided that this wasn't just going to be a good idea that would go away. They wanted to do something about it. And kind of the principles that occurred here in those days 50 years ago, they had the vision that came from Kennedy's speech and the desire of young people to reach out to those in need abroad. They generated a debate on campus, first with letters to the editor, and with various meetings that the students held to discuss this idea and to plan their course of action. Finally, to focus their effort, they put together a petition, and they asked other students on campus to sign this petition, and they would take it to President Kennedy somewhere on the campaign trail, and let him know that the interest of the students was real and genuine. And having delivered that petition to Senator Kennedy, some between flights in Toledo, Ohio, as the story goes, they followed that up with a campaign in which they reached out to students at other campuses, and they generated a letter writing campaign, et cetera, to keep this idea alive. And finally, that resulted in achieving the goal of creating the Peace Corps and starting this new volunteer service program. 50 years later, our vision today is to take that idea and produce a quantum leap forward. And Service World is the vehicle by which we're going to do that. It's been a product of collaboration by literally hundreds of organizations involved in international volunteer service, contributed by through the Building Bridges Coalition, as well as through other groups. And it's something that in which we all identify with in terms of our need to do more in this area. It seems like we have just touched the surface of what we're involved in. As Harris Walford has said, the original idea for the Peace Corps was 100,000 volunteers a year, and yet, in its peak, it was only at 16,000 volunteers, and today it's at about 8,000. So we're far short of what that original goal was. Fortunately, there are many other organizations, volunteer service organizations, volunteer sending organizations that have stepped up to the plate and offered additional kinds of assistance. So the debate we have today, or the debate we're about to enjoin, should the U.S. government and literally all nations of the world significantly expand international volunteer service and service learning. And that's what's encapsulated in the proposed Sargent Shriver International Volunteer Service Act. Today, like 50 years ago, we have a petition, the International Service World Declaration, and it can be reached on this website. Our campaign today is in some ways not dissimilar from 50 years ago. There's discussion in the newspapers, but we also have the internet. We have blogs and Facebook, Twitter. There are opportunities to discuss this in classroom settings, etc. And so the wonderful presentation that Charles and the media work group for BBC presented showed you all kinds of tools and devices in which we can take that message out to a broad audience. One more quiver, one more arrow in the quiver to make this happen is a program we've decided to develop first at American University, and then we're looking at expanding nationwide to universities across the country. And that's what we call the Building Bridges Coalition Service World Scholarship Program. Our goals for this program are to first create a debate on the merits and the priority of Service World for the U.S. government. Create a debate. Okay, that's what we need. We need to have an active and viable debate if this idea is going to move forward. We need to expand awareness of the international volunteer service opportunities that exist. Many people, most people have heard of Peace Corps, but there are so many other programs and opportunities that are available, and by and large, a lot of young people are just not aware of those. Another purpose is to generate 1,000 signatures from this university to the Service World petition. We're setting a number, 1,000, as a goal, and it's going to be a real goal in all kinds of ways that you'll subsequently hear about. And what we want to do in this program is to award free volunteer service programs to the most deserving students and have them share their experiences with the university community. This is the whole idea, to build a constituency that is informed and that is committed to making international volunteer service a real opportunity. The types of scholarships we're going to offer are two. The first is a BBC Service World Global Advocacy Scholarship. For this, the purpose of this is to generate support for Service World on this campus community. Okay? The purpose of the Global Advocacy Scholarship at American University is to generate support for Service World American University community, with the students, with the faculty, with their friends, relatives, etc. The second scholarship is the BBC Service World World Citizen Scholarship. The idea of this is we're going to award a scholarship to somebody who signs the petition. One of those 1,000 signatures is going to get a free service program abroad. That means that for most students who have thought about this and thought, well, you know, I'd like to do that, but I don't have time, or I don't have the money, or I don't know what to do, or, you know, whatever. All of those issues go away because by simply signing the petition, they could receive National Volunteer Service Program. It's now a real opportunity for them and something they should actively consider. This isn't theoretical anymore, it's real. The BBC Service World Advocacy Scholarships, the first one is for the Campus Advocate, okay? This is someone selected by the Building Bridges Coalition. They are going to be leading the campaign to get 1,000 signatures. Those signatures have to go through a badge that is set aside specifically for this American University campaign. So they'll have to make sure that that particular web page is advertised so that we can track how many are actually coming out of this campaign. And they will be able to choose a service program from one of the hundreds of programs offered by the 5 volunteer sending organizations who are sponsoring the scholarship program on this campus. They'll be able to choose whatever kind of program that they'd like, provided, of course, they get to 1,000 signatures. There are 2 other Campus Advocate Scholarships, and these are what we call associate scholarships. Basically, these are people, two individuals that the Campus Advocate will select to assist them in this campaign, and they will receive a 1/3 scholarship, okay? So if the International Volunteer Service Program costs $3,000, $1,000 will be forgiven. The cost of these other 2 individuals will be $2,000. Okay? Substantial reduction. The idea is that all 3 individuals will serve on the same program. The second scholarship is the World Citizen Scholarship. The way this will work is after we have generated 1,000 signatures, we are going to, at random, select 10 finalists have been petition signatures. We're going to invite all 10 to write a 750-word essay on why they would like to serve abroad, the value of international volunteer service, the public or national interest that they see from a policy point of view, and finally why Service World is an urgent priority. We want them to be an articulate and knowledgeable spokesman for Service World and for international volunteer service. Winner that is selected by a group of people, including the sponsors of the organization, as well as people from American University, they also will receive a free scholarship to serve on one of the hundreds of programs offered by the 5 sponsors of this program this campaign at American University. They also will be able to pick 2 associates to go with them, who will also receive a 1/3 discount on participating in the program. Again, 1 program and 3 people will serve on it. Now, these individuals do not necessarily have to be other students. They do have to be petition signatories, okay? So this could be mom and dad. Depends on who wins and who they select. But the idea is, during the campaign on campus, you want to invite your friends to sign the petition as well, because you want to talk about where the 3 of you might go, and what program, and what would you do, and why would you do it? What's the value of this? Why is this? What's going on with this campaign? The whole idea is to generate discussion. Now, the obligations of the people who win these scholarships are that they must serve within a year of the award. They must prepare a written account of their service experience. They must agree to participate in events organized by the Building Bridges Coalition, Service World, or the sponsoring organizations of the scholarship program, the various volunteer sending organizations, during 1 year following their service in the program. Because this is legislation that's being proposed, they should be prepared that there might be an opportunity for them to either speak with a member of the Senate or the U.S. House of Representatives or appear in a hearing. The program sponsors at American University start with the School of International Service here at this building. Dr. Lewis Goodman is the dean of the program and is very enthusiastic about this program. And also the Center for Community Engagement and Service. We have with us Shoshana Sumka. You want to stand for a minute, Shoshana? Yay! Shoshana is the Assistant Director for Global Learning and Leadership at the Center for Community Engagement and Service. And her immediate supervisor, Fanta Ah, is Vice President for Student Life here at the university. Their role is to be an academic advisor to the program. So we're going to ask them to recommend people who might be good in the role of campus advocate. We're going to ask them to help get the word out about the scholarship program, about the petition drive, through whatever means that they feel is appropriate. If there are events being scheduled at the university, if there are Friday forums for discussion, if there are other campus events where we're bringing up Service World is an opportunity. Hopefully they have a heads up and can make sure that this is included. And finally, to offer some guidance on the academic creditworthiness of this campaign. The program sponsors for the campus, for the event at American University, are 5 prominent volunteer sending organizations that are members of the BBC. United Planet, based in Boston, Cross Cultural Solutions, Steve Rosenthal out of New Rochelle, New York. Service for Peace, Charles Phillips organization based in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Global Brigades, based in Fresno, California, and finally Global Volunteers from St. Paul, Minnesota. So we have both coasts and the middle represented in terms of the organizations that are going to sponsor. Each of these organizations has a unique focus. They offer a unique set of programs, and this, I think, offers a real interesting diversity of opportunities for the students at the campus. Now, the criteria to be selected as a global advocate, we're looking for someone with demonstrated leadership and advocacy experience, someone who has shown a commitment to international volunteer service, someone who has a knowledge of the Service World proposals, that they've gone through the website and are familiar with that. They have a knowledge of the programs offered by the scholarship sponsors. So those 5 volunteer sending organizations, they should have studied those websites and be familiar with the programs that are offered. Obviously, they need strong writing skills and strong oral presentation skills. We need a well-organized and self-motivated individual. And finally, they must generate 1,000 signatures for the Service World petition. This is the criteria So what we're doing is we're launching this today. I'm looking for resumes from students and cover letters in which they tell me the virtue of selecting them as the campus advocate. If they have recommendations from either of any of our academic advisors or any of the program sponsors, those are encouraged. I know that there are many students at American University who have already served abroad on volunteer service programs, and they have firsthand experience in doing this. But there could be others who have been involved in the university service learning programs that are excellent. The American University has some of the best service learning programs, international service learning programs that exist anywhere in the country. And they also could be excellent candidates for to be the campus advocate and the winner of that scholarship. The World Citizen Scholarship, first criteria is that you'll have to be lucky enough to be selected as one of the 10 finalists. You're going to be asked to prepare an essay, and so obviously strong writing skills are important. We're going to be looking for someone with a strong commitment to international volunteer service, an excellent understanding of service world, and they need to submit that essay within 10 days of being notified that elected as a finalist. Now, how long this is going to go, I can't say. It could, this campaign could kick off, today. By February 1st, we'll elect our campus advocate. We could have 1,000 signatures in 2 weeks. I have no idea how long this will take. But in any case, we will move at an expeditious pace to this available, since basically all of the issues have been resolved. Launch this program. Finally, the idea here is to bring the world home. Okay, although this is all about the opportunity to serve abroad, and there's a lot of excitement about that, what we're really about is the fact that we want the world to know, we want Americans to know what international volunteer service experience is like. Many of you have been involved in this. You know that it's a life-changing event, that it changes your perspective on people in other cultures and what they value and what's important and what isn't. And conveying that understanding helps fight against the stereotypes and the demagoguery that can occur in our national debate. So the BBC is launching another campaign called Bring the World Home. We're going to be hearing more about that in subsequent meetings, but this program is going to dovetail very much with the priorities of trying to have the impact of volunteer service expand more broadly through our communities back home. So what we're talking about is a commitment to the International Volunteer Service World International Volunteer Service Declaration. And I guess in the interest of time, I'm not going to go through all of this, read the whole thing, but it's available online. And it closes with words: we stand ready to support Service World's bold agenda to expand volunteer opportunities for individuals internationally at every age and among all socioeconomic groups, to learn about global problems and to find more effective ways to solve them. That's what this is all about. All right? Thank you.